Hello. Welcome to Tuesday. I do this every time. Welcome to Remote Job Talks, everybody. I'm Katie Castillo. Give me just a second here. We're going to get everything set up and going live and making sure we are good to go. I'm seeing an issue with our live in VertForce. Sorry, guys. It just reset on me. So hopefully I am live in VertForce and make sure we're live everywhere else. I see us over here. You know how technology works. Sometimes it doesn't work. Anyways, we'll get going here in just 1 second. I'm going to get us all going. Feel free to drop a comment in the chat. Let me know where you're joining us from. And let me know what you're looking for. If you have any questions, this is a good time to drop those in the chat as well. Oh, there we go. I see it. Okay, we're good. We're live. Thank goodness. Amy, I see that you're watching. Hello. Welcome. So welcome to Remote Job Talks. We're going to be talking about open positions. We're going to be talking about upcoming events, and we're going to be answering any questions that you have. So like I said, if you have any questions, this is a great place to ask them. I will try to answer as many as I can live as I see them come through. So if you have questions, feel free to drop them in the chats, either on Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube or Instagram, wherever you're watching from. Feel free to drop those at any time. I'm flip-flopping back through all of the platforms to see if you have questions, and I'll get to those as I see them come in. So we'll get started here with jobs. And so let me get you the job arsenal. There it is. All right. So one more thing I'm going to grab really fast while everybody is joining us. For those of you who just joined, I'm Katie Castillo, the community expert at VertForce, and this is Remote Job Talks. We're going to talk about jobs. We're going to talk about events. We're going to talk about any questions, anything that you guys need help with. I'm here to do that. And this is a great place to do it because I'm live with you versus having to wait for a response, right? So let me get that going. Oh, there we go. All right. So first and foremost, jobs. We help connect military spouses, veterans, active duty servicemen and women, military affiliated people, to military friendly employers with preferably location flexible positions. So ideally we go for remote jobs, but we try to find positions that can move with you when you have to PCS, to set you up for career continuity, a career that you can have for forever, right? And the first way we do that is through our job arsenal, which I put the QR code right there. Let me get you guys the caption because I just realized that's not up there. Okay, so if you are available to use your phone to scan, you can scan this QR code right here. This will take you straight to the jobs.vertforce.us site, and that's our job board. A couple things about the job board. You do have to make an account. If you do not have an account, you will not see all of the jobs. Okay. So make sure you make an account. Make sure you update your profile periodically too, especially if you get certifications or you have a license in something. Put that information in there. It helps us search for candidates. It helps us send you tailored job alerts and notifications as well. So the job board has only legitimate vetted military friendly jobs. They're not just anybody can post to this job board. So I could not post a random job to this job board without it being vetted or checked by our staff. On this job board, the jobs rotate frequently. So if you are not signed up for emails, let me know. I can drop the link for the email sign up because we send out emails every time we have a new job on the job board. And like I said, they rotate frequently. So I talked last Tuesday, so less than a week ago, I talked on Tuesday about some positions and about the job board. And we have 12 new jobs on the job board since last week. So they go up, they come down, they change all the time. So make sure you're checking it frequently or signed up for our emails. I will also say, make sure that you whitelist or add Kimber at vertforce.io and Kimber at vertforce.us to your contacts, and check your junk folder, because a lot of times we'll end up in there. But if you add us to your contacts, we're less likely to go into your junk folder, especially once you start interacting on our emails. It'll help you get more of our emails. So if you're not getting any emails from us and you signed up, that's probably what's happening, just as a heads up. So let's talk about the specific jobs on our job board. We try to answer as many questions for you as possible so that you have as much information as possible before going into the job. So we try to put information on there like what type of position is, W-2, 1099, full-time, part-time, Is there room for growth? Is it remote? Is it location specific? Is there quiet office hours required? Which those of you who are caregivers or parents, that is a really great barometer about whether or not you'd be able to have children present for the work that you're going to be doing. So there's several positions, obviously, where you have to have a quiet office, right? If you're doing a lot of calls or a lot of client meetings, or if you're in anything medical related, just because of HIPAA laws, you'll have to have a quiet office. But we try to ask those questions for you, and quiet office hours is our way of letting you know whether or not you need to have a quiet space without other people present. So you'll see all that information on the job board when you go there. Couple things about the job board. Like I said, make sure you sign in, make an account, or you won't see everything. At the top, you'll see like a little navigation bar. It has your dashboard, it has jobs, it has learning, events, and podcasts. So you can find lots of different information and lots of different resources on this job board. So actually, let me sign into mine so that I can talk to you about the jobs. So I'm going to go over, there are 5 brand new RN positions from Imagine 360 on our job board. We just got those last week for our event with them on Thursday. So if you are an RN, check those out. I'm not going to go through all of them specifically because that would take a really long time. But if you are an RN, check those out. Imagine 360 is a fantastic employer. That event that we had on Thursday was, I don't know that we've ever had so many questions and so many people engaging with Imagine 360. That event was incredible. I'm still not over it. But they shared like 10 new jobs with us, which was really fantastic. So you'll see the first 5 on there are from Imagine 360 for RN positions. Brittany Schaefer on Facebook, I do see your question. Give me just 1 second, okay? And I will answer your question. So after you see the 5 RN positions, there are a few other non-RN positions available. So we have member services intake support administrator, healthcare navigator, and a member services advocate position. Those are all remote. They are PTO, benefits, 401k, all that. They do provide all of the equipment at Imagine 360, and you get paid training for all of those positions, which is fantastic. So check those out with Imagine 360. Our recording from our event on Thursday should be up this week. It is processing right now as it uploads. It was a long event, and those just uploading the recording takes a little bit of time, several hours, if not a full day. So as soon as it's available, those of you who RSVP'd will get an email, and we'll also post about it and send out an email to the whole community. Even if you didn't RSVP, you'll get the recording as well. It'll be up on our YouTube. Okay, so Brittany wants to know, I'm going to answer this now while we're taking a little break after the Imagine 360 positions. Brittany would like to know what remote jobs are good for spouses that have been a stay-at-home mom for 14 years. You've only had daycare jobs in between. Okay, Brittany. You're not alone. Let me start there. That is a lot of us. I definitely had a lot of career gaps and a lot of spaces and a lot of stuff on my resume that wasn't relevant to my field, right? I have a business degree in marketing, but I did not work in marketing of any kind for probably 12 years after I got my degree as a military spouse. So you're not alone. It happens to a lot of us. So there are lots of remote jobs that are good for you. As somebody who worked in daycare, you will have an unbelievable amount of customer service type skills, probably more so than a lot of people, just because you have learned to deal with very high stress situations, learn with multitasking, all this sort of stuff. So you'd be great for a lot of customer service positions. I'll also say, I know you said you're a stay-at-home mom and you only have daycare jobs. Have you volunteered in that time, right? Were you part of an FRG or a spouses club or organizations on base or other things, right? Volunteer work is work, and it absolutely counts as experience. Maybe not paid experience, but it's still experience. And honestly, you're doing a lot of stuff. Julianne mentioned this, and I just loved it so much because it really hit the mark. Julianne from Imagine 360, by the way, she said this last week where she said, if you're volunteering for something, I want to see it on your resume, because most volunteer work, you're not getting paid, but you're still doing the work, and it's not usually easy, but you're still choosing to do all this work for free. And that says a lot about you as a person. And that's hard work, and it absolutely should be on your resume. So if you have volunteer experience, put that on your resume. So there are a few things with Imagine 360 you'd absolutely qualify for. We have an event tomorrow that I'm going to talk about in a little bit, Brittany, that you might want to sign up for if you haven't, because that would absolutely fit the customer service bill. And we also have a couple events in October. So stay tuned for those. But you'd qualify for a lot of different things, and it sort of depends on what you want to go into or what type of work you want to be doing, right? So if you want to go into, if you're cool with customer service, then great. We got a lot of options for you. If your background and you really want to work into something marketing, there are other options for you. There are free certifications for military spouses, veterans, military affiliated people. There's lots of free certifications and courses you can take. And let's just say a little birdie told me we will have a new position that is no quiet office hours required. That's more of an entry-level position coming very soon. So we'll have new jobs up this week with that. So I'm going to keep continuing on our jobs because right once you get to the bottom of the first batch of Imagine 360 jobs, we have a sales and marketing coordinator job that just got posted on Friday, if I'm correct. W-2, PTO, equipment provided. You do have to pass a background check, but it only has partially quiet office hours, and it's part-time with room for growth, which is really awesome. I am a big fan and advocate for looking at companies that want you to grow with the company, because they're looking for the right fit candidate, and that really that's like such an incredible thing to look for in a company. I never realized I cared about that until I found a company that really prioritized internal growth, because it gives you the option to have a say in where your career goes and what you're looking for, what you want to do. And growing within the company is really great. It says that they take an interest and they see you as an investment in their company and in their business. So room for growth is always a big green flag for me. So the sales marketing coordinator, room for growth, which is fantastic. It is a remote role, US based. So you do have to work CONUS, and you must be able to work about Central Standard Time plus or minus 1 hour, just, they are looking, it's a sales marketing role. So like I said, you can view all the details on the job board, but they're looking preferably with somebody with a bachelor's degree in business, marketing, communications, or some kind of related field with 2 to 4 years of experience on that one. So like I said, you'll find that on the job board. We also have we've got a couple CVS roles. We have the outbound call center representative role that went up last week. We do have, they're still looking for pharmacy technicians in Oregon and Washington State. They are still looking for health coach dietitians in either Mountain Standard Time or Pacific Standard Time. And they are looking for work-life resource consultants. You will also find, after you scroll down a little bit, all the business areas at CVS Health. So if you're looking for something clinical, or you're looking for something in customer care or in IT, you can find all of those links on our job board. You'll also find links to multiple positions for travelers and multiple positions for Imagine 360. So if you're looking for something in the specific one you saw is not what you're looking for, there are tons of other options within those businesses. Couple things I do want to mention: make sure, especially with Imagine 360 and CVS Health, that you, in the source, in the where did you find about us source, always mark yourself as a VertForce candidate, because they are employment partners of ours. It makes a huge difference if they can see oh, these people came from VertForce. Let's go take a look. Or if you apply, then and you want us to advocate for you or go ask about something, if you haven't marked yourself as a VertForce candidate, they won't know that you came from us. So just make sure you're doing that. Let's see, I see a couple people. Okay, hold on, I'm going back. I have a bunch of comments that came in. Oh, I see somebody joining us from Italy. Hello. Okay, I have somebody asking about OCONUS spouses. So OCONUS is tricky for a lot of reasons, not only because of SOFA and the time differences, but on the company side, if it has anything, there's a lot of legal things that, with privacy and data sharing within the US, that make it hard to employ people outside of the United States if there is PPI being shared. So Imagine 360, CVS Health, and travelers hire within the 50 United States. They do not hire OCONUS. Most of that has to do with personal information and data privacy laws, that they can't share stuff outside, unfortunately. However, we do try to get as many OCONUS positions as possible because we get it. I lived overseas for 5 years, And I do know how hard it is to find a remote job overseas. So we do try to get them as often as possible, which is why I did recommend making sure that you sign up for the job board, make sure you sign up for the emails. Another great place to get information on new jobs is going to be on our Facebook group. So I know that a lot of you are joining from our Facebook group because I'm looking at you right here. But if you're not on our Facebook group and you're watching from somewhere else, I'm going to share that really fast. This QR code will take you to our VertForce group. We post about it every time we have a new position or a new event. We post about it in this group. So if you have notifications turned on or you're engaging in the group, you will see those things come through as soon as we post them. And if you can't scan the QR code, just search for VertForce under groups on Facebook. Make sure you answer all of the membership questions. And the first one is a two-parter. So make sure you answer all of the questions or I can't admit you. So while those 3 companies don't hire Oconus, I can say that we do have an Oconus friendly. In fact, we are preferring somebody who lives Oconus for this role coming very, very soon. So if you need the link for signing up for emails or you're not part of the VertForce group, do that as soon as possible because we are going to be launching a new role that is Oconus friendly very soon. And I'll talk more about that next week. Let's see. So yeah. Okay. Heather, I see you can't log into your VertForce account and you're not receiving emails to reset the password. What can you do? You can email me, Heather. I will take a look. Email me, especially if you can email me from the account that you think that you set up your VertForce job account with. Email me from there. Let me know what's going on. I will take a look on our back end and see if I can't get you the reset email or help you figure that out. We do have a new job board. It launched in the last year. So if you haven't set up your new password for that, that might be why. But just email me at Katie, Kaiti at vertforce.us and I can help you with that. Okay, Heather? If you didn't get the email, let me know and I'll type it in there for you. See Brenda really looking for a company that has room for growth. Yes. It's fantastic. I cannot recommend looking for a company that has room for growth like enough. So the sales and marketing position, if that's something that fits your background, that's a great one. Imagine 360. We talked about this on Thursday, but they have an internal promotion rate that is double the national average. So that should tell you how much they prioritize internal growth within their company, which is really great. So check them out if that's something you're interested in. And okay, Brittany is looking for something without phones. Okay. So there are lots of options for no phones. Obviously, customer service tends to be fairly phone heavy, depending on what you find. A lot of chat-based positions have been taken over by AI at the moment. But there are options that don't require quiet office hours. We've had several of them. Right now, we don't. I don't think they're all partially quiet. Like the sales and marketing is probably the lowest, which requires partially quiet. All the rest do require quiet office hours, but not like 100%. But I see you have another Oconus question. Like I said, stay tuned. We have something coming very soon. I am very excited about it. So I will talk more about that next week. Okay, so just a quick reminder, Heather, email me at Katie, Kaiti at vertforce.us. And I will help you get into your job account. I know that sometimes that's tricky. We do have, here, let me see if I can find it really, really fast. We did set up a new job board within the last year. And if you haven't reset your password with that, sometimes it can cause an issue. So let me see if I can find it for you really, really fast. Okay, I did. Hold on. Oh, hopefully it doesn't play and then, okay. All right. So Heather, oh, Facebook, you're going to be tricky. Oh, there it goes. Okay, Heather, I am dropping a video if it lets me comment. Come on, Facebook. Okay, I'm going to try to drop this in a second. Apparently it's still loading, but I'm going to share with you a link to a video that has information about resetting your job. Okay, why is it not? Oh, there it goes. Okay. So you can, this is a video about resetting your password for our job site. Heather, I just dropped it. So if any of you, Heather or not, if any of you are having issues getting into the job site and you know you have an account or you think you've made an account, we do have a new job site that we've gotten in the last year. So if you haven't checked it in a while, make sure you do reset your job password because we did get a new system, a new website for that. So let's see. So we're going to keep going on. So we talked about jobs. like I said, keep an eye out. We will have new ones. We'll have new ones tomorrow because, guys, let me head over here and get you this. Our customer care Coffee and Connect and cohort with CVS Health launches tomorrow. We are going live on Zoom. It's a virtual event at 1 p.m. Eastern time. With CVS Health, it is a customer care focused Coffee and Connect, and we're going to be talking about the customer care cohort. And I'll be giving more information on that. We are going live. They will have jobs to share. That is one thing. If you have never attended one of our Coffee and Connects or employer events, just know that more often than not, they share brand new jobs at these events. We also give away $500 worth of Starbucks gift cards. We give away, I'm going to clarify this because on Thursday, there are a couple people like, wait, what? $500 of Starbucks? So 100 live attendees will get a $5 Starbucks gift card. And we give those away to our live attendees. Oops, sorry, wrong thing. There we go. Okay. So that is tomorrow. So make sure if you haven't RSVP'd, do that now because we go live in less than 24 hours with CVS Health. It's going to be a fun event. I'm very excited about it. And even if you can't attend, if you RSVP after the event, we will send you a recap email with information from the event and links that you need from the event. And then as soon as the recording is available, we'll send you that as well. Just as a quick note that the Imagine 360 recording is processing right now. Our CVS recording will take a little bit longer to get up onto YouTube. So it might take a week or so to get up, just so you know. Oh, Kimmy would like to know what to expect in a phone interview with Imagine 360. That is a great question, Kimmy. So my advice actually is, since you are on our VertForce Facebook group, search in the group for Imagine 360. That is a great place to crowdsource people who work there, people who have interviewed there, and you'll be able to get some tips and advice and things like that. If this is your first interview, they're probably doing a little bit of a check to make sure your background and everything fits what you said it is, to get a feel for who you are. So we also have on our job board, jobs.vertforce.us at the top. I'm just drop it because it'll be easier for me. We have a learning tab, which has information. We have a launching LinkedIn course. We have a resume boot camp course, and we have an Acer virtual interview course, actually. So I'm going to drop Kimmy. I'm going to reply. Hold on. I am going to comment directly to you. Hopefully, maybe. Yeah. Okay. I just shared the how to ace a virtual interview link. Study that. It's like less than 30 minutes, but it will really help you get a feel for just some basics on getting yourself prepared. So for specifics on Imagine 360, I highly recommend searching within the VertForce Facebook group on Facebook. Go into the group and just search for Imagine 360. You'll see a ton. We have couple hundred posts about them in there from people who work there, from people who have interviewed there, and you can get a feel for what to expect. As far as general for virtual interviews, one of the things I really, really like to do is to look up behavioral questions, right? They're going to ask you, tell me a time when this happened or an example of this, and how did you respond to it? I always like to look up those kind of questions that they might ask and think of a few situations in my work or volunteer or life or whatever experience that I would think would fit, especially if it fits several of those types of questions. And I will literally take Post-it notes. I don't have any with me on my desk right now, but I will take Post-it notes and do the STAR method. And I'll be like, this is the situation. This was the task. This was the action. And this was the result. And I will stick that Post-it note on the edge of my laptop screen so that when I actually do an interview, and if you're not doing an actual virtual one, it's just on the phone, you can just have those in front of you. But then it helps me collect my brain a little bit and my thoughts. And so that way I'm not rambling and all over the place. But it's a good way to have an idea of what you might want to say if they ask something like that. But we talk a lot about more of that in the Acer virtual interview course. So those are my two pieces of advice. Watch that little course. It's less than 30 minutes. And then crowdsource on the VertForce Facebook group. I see we have a question. Oh, I see somebody from LinkedIn really interested in the member services advocate role at Imagine 360. Is it better to hit the apply button on the VertForce job board? So it doesn't really matter if you do that with Imagine 360. So this is specific to Imagine 360 that I'm saying right now, and also for CVS Health. You can, if you find a job that you wanted to apply for on their job board that's not on our job board, That's fine. Either way is fine. So if you click it through our job board, if you're already there, it'll just take you straight to the application. So that makes that easy. But if you find one just on their job board that's not on our job board, it's okay. Apply through either link is fine. This is where it's really important to mark yourself as a VertForce candidate is in the where did you hear about us, like the source field. Go through the drop-down menu and you'll find VertForce. One of them, I can't remember, CVS or Imagine 360 right now, has like a military one. Click that, and then under that will be VertForce. But put VertForce in your source so they know you're coming from us, and that's how you mark yourself as a VertForce candidate. So that's really important with Imagine 360 and with travelers, Imagine 360 and CVS Health. Travelers, if you click the link in our job board, it marks you as a VertForce candidate just by clicking that link because it's got a sort of like a tracking thing on it. Does that answer your question? It doesn't tell me your name for some reason from LinkedIn. But if I didn't answer your question, let me know. I'm happy to help. Okay, so now I'm going to keep going with events. So tomorrow, if you have not RSVP'd, highly recommend doing that as soon as possible. I will drop the link right now, actually, for you. So this is for the CVS Health customer care. It is at 1 p.m. tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow on Zoom. If you RSVP today, you will receive a calendar invite. You will receive the Zoom link in email and everything like that, which is very helpful. So you just have it and you're ready to go. I'm going to drop that link in the chats right now so that you have it if you need it. Highly recommend RSVPing. Like I said, not only will you get reminders about it, and you will also get not only the reminders, like I said, if you RSVP, whether you are at the event or you can't make it or have to leave early, that's okay. But when you RSVP, you will receive the recording via email, and you will receive a recap email from the event with all of the information we talk about in the event and the links that we share in the event. So highly recommend RSVPing. Like I said, that is tomorrow at 1 p.m. So today is your last day to RSVP. And I hope to see you guys there. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's at 10 a.m. my time, so it's nice and early. So I will definitely have coffee instead of something else tomorrow. You know, I won't have sparkling water, one of my beverages. I usually have about 4. These events usually last about an hour and a half to 2 hours. The Imagine 361 lasted right about 2 hours, and we had to cut it off because we had so much community engagement and so many people coming. Like when I tell you guys that the Imagine 360 event was crazy engaged, we give you the option during a Q&A session at the end to come on screen or drop questions in the chat. And we couldn't even get to the questions in the chat because we had so many people come on screen to ask questions, which was fantastic. And I expect CVS Health is going to be like that tomorrow. So I'm really excited to see you guys there. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be one of our guest speakers tomorrow talking about the customer care cohort. So if you have questions, I'm going to be there to answer them and help and give you some information. And you can come on and say hi. I'll be the first one to greet you on screen. And that's always fun. And it's really nice when there's lots of you in there ready to talk. So I hope to see you guys there. And then we have a few more events I want to talk about. We have the military MLS is doing a PCS portfolio class on September 30th. So for those of you who don't know who the military MLS is, sorry, it's Monday, everybody. The military MLS is the VertForce sister community. So what we do with jobs, they do with real estate. So they are helping to educate you as a military affiliated person on all of your military benefits and things like the VA loan that go along with being a military person or military affiliated person when it comes to real estate. They are also sharing. So we do these free classes like once every 8 to 12 weeks, sharing information to help educate you, to help give you the information you need to set yourself up for success. This one, they're specifically talking about what to do with houses when you PCS, because we do that 10 times more often than a civilian family. So they're talking about how can you rent out your house? How does it work? And how to build up a real estate portfolio for your retirement. And so we're going to have a couple guest speakers on there to talk about how they've done it, even if they're not, they haven't been in for 20 plus years yet. They're still have only been in for 10, 5, whatever it is. They're going to talk about their situations and how they've made it work. And things like that. So that's going to be on September 30th. We give away Starbucks gift cards at those events as well. And when you sign up for a call with our MMLS concierge team, you get a Stanley tumbler. So those are fun. Those are great educational events. And there's like no obligation. It's like a no stress, no obligation, trusted space just to get accurate information based on your situation as a military affiliated person. So if you are even the tiniest bit interested in real estate, and even if you're not interested in real estate, highly recommend these events. Like I said, we do different ones, different themes, different topics every 6 to 12 weeks or so. Let's see, I have somebody saying the Imagine 360 event was amazing. It really was. It was really fantastic. Okay, I see we have another question in Facebook. And Brittany wants to know, is there a place or anyone you would recommend to have a resume and cover letter redone? So I'm going to give you my 2 cents here. Brittany, you did ask the question, so it's solicited advice now. I usually have to call it unsolicited, but I'm going to tell you right now, I do not recommend that you pay for a resume or cover letter service. Don't pay for it. Please, please, please don't pay for it. There is no guarantee when you pay for it. And literally every single person I've ever talked to who has paid for it has regretted it and has not had a good experience. And the reason for that is there's no guarantee. They don't know you like you know you. And then when they write it, it's not in your voice. It's not you. And then every job you apply for thereafter, you have to tailor it. So you're going to have to learn the skill anyways, or you're going to have to pay them again to tailor your resume, because you should be tailoring your resume and cover letter for every single position at every single company that you apply for. So please, please don't pay for a resume service. There are tons of free services and resources that you can access to help get more information on resume and cover letter. So the first of those is that we have our own. I dropped the link a little bit earlier in the ACE virtual interview, but if you go to jobs.vertforce.us and you sign in, at the top, there's a learning tab. Click that. You'll see information on Resume Bootcamp. On our Instagram, you can just search us on Instagram. It's like instagram.com/vertforce. We have tons of resume tips in there and cover letter tips as well, just like quick tips on resume tailoring and what should go on your resume. I did a live stream, which will be saved on YouTube, a few weeks ago, and I dove into pretty in depth on cover letters and what you should be doing on cover letters. Let me see if I can find it. Because some of them are just titled, oh, maybe not. Oh yeah. Okay. So 3 months ago, holy cow, 3 months ago, so when you go onto our YouTube page, if you search Kimber Hill on YouTube, you can search in the live folder and scroll down. It'll say remote roles, and the ins, outs, how-tos, and what not to do's is like what the preview title is. It's what not to do's for cover letters. And I actually dive into that in detail about like what should be on your cover letter and how to write it. You can also check out for resumes, and I believe they do cover letters too, but I know they do resumes, like Hiring Our Heroes, the USO. As a Navy family, it's the Fleet and Family Office. Whatever your branch equivalent of the Fleet and Family Office is on base. They all do, and MySeco, they all do free resume services, and they will help you write your resume and figure out how to tailor it and things like that. Like I said, we also have resources, Resume Bootcamp, and you can check out our Instagram. If you are applying to a job on our job board, we will give you feedback on your resume. You do need to email hire@vertforce.us with your resume. And you also need to give us some information, right? Like, I'm Katie, I'm applying for the marketing position. I was just hoping for a little bit of feedback on my resume, make sure I tailor it appropriately. And we'll try and do that. You just got to give us plenty of time before the deadline, right? I will also say our recruitment team has been trying on some of the positions on our job board to put information on there about like the resume punch list is usually what it is, where we will put like things that we want to make, like if you have these things, we want to see them up front and center. So Brittany, those are my free resources for you. You can also ask for help in the VertForce Facebook group, and we can give you a little more specific and sit down and talk to you about that. Also crowdsource in there. Go search for resumes or cover letters in there, and you'll see a lot of feedback and tips and things like that. I hope that helps. If you have any other specific questions about resumes or cover letters, feel free to let me know, and I'm happy to share that with you. Okay, I see somebody's applied for some Imagine 360 positions and got no response. So that happens. I'll be upfront and center about this, that some companies, especially some of our employment providers, are big companies, right? And right now, with the way the job market is, they're receiving thousands of applications for one position. And so it's very hard to get a specific tailored response and from each job. I will also say that in our meeting on Thursday, we had somebody say, hey, I haven't heard back. And one of the recruiters went and looked up that person and said, we did write you. We emailed you. I would go check your junk folder because I did write you back. So please go check it. So I know that you might think you're not hearing back. Please go check your junk and spam folders because a lot of times you'll hear back in there, whether it's positive like response or a you're not moving forward response. Check those things because a lot of those ones, especially if they're automated, will go into your spam or junk folder. If you have an application that is still under consideration and you're interested in more information, you can reach out to us at hire@vertforce.us and we can see what we can do. We can make no promises, but we are here to try and help you. And also just know, like Julianne addressed this in our meeting on Thursday, that again, the job market is really rough right now. They know that, we know that, and it is very, very frustrating, right? We know that. It's just a hard situation sometimes. But persistence is going to be your best friend here. Job searching, even when the job market was great, right? That it's not a one and done situation. You rarely apply for a single job and that's the job you get, right? You've got to send out a couple and sometimes several dozens of applications and apply for different roles, especially with larger companies like that. Sometimes you just have to keep trying. So don't give up, just keep trying, making sure that you are dedicating the time to tailor your resume and things like that, because it will make a difference. So I know it is hard to apply for a job and not necessarily hear back. I will also say sometimes what happens there is that you apply for a job, it closes and they just stopped accepting applications, which is why they close it, but they haven't necessarily finished hiring for that role. So they don't send out hey, we're not moving forward with you until they have filled all the roles, because they don't want to say that and then realize that somebody they tried to hire declines it or decides not to do the role order. So then they have to restart the process. So they usually wait until the role is completely filled before sending out the thing. Check your spam and junk, because I can say from experience that we had a couple people on our call on Thursday who had applied and said they hadn't heard back, but they had heard back. They just hadn't seen the emails one way or the other. So make sure you're checking both of those. And just know persistence is going to be your best friend. I know that that's not necessarily what everybody wants to hear, but sometimes you do just have to keep trying, right? You have to keep trying. So I do want to talk about, if we were talking about CVS Health a little bit ago, we do have a CVS Health clinical coffee and connect and clinical cohort starting soon. Date will be announced next week, probably. We should have all of that finalized. So if you are clinical, whatever that means for clinical, whether that's an LPN or a RN, NP, physician, whatever it is, if it is clinical related, this event is for you. So make sure you RSVP for that. And then on October 14th, we are meeting with Travelers Insurance. I'm very excited for this event. It's going to be cool. Travelers has been one of our longest partners ever. And there's a reason for that. They are incredible. They've hired over 200 military spouses and veterans, or just military spouses. This was not a number that included veterans, which they've also hired a lot of them, but they've hired over 200 military spouses from the VertForce community. So specifically VertForce community members, over 200 of them. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk to the recruitment teams over there. We're also going to cover, Travelers has like a huge variety of different roles, whether they're remote, hybrid, on-site, whatever they are, in different business areas. We're going to talk about a lot of we're going to like run the spectrum of jobs with them, which will be cool to give you guys all a feel for what you could get, what they have over there, because they're an incredible company to work for. So I think that email just went out today too. So that's going to be on October 14th. All of these events that I've talked about today, by the way, are virtual on Zoom, and Travelers is at 1 p.m. on Zoom on October 14th. And let's see, I'm trying to see if I've got any other questions from anybody. If you have questions, this is a good time to ask, because we're going to be wrapping up here in just a minute. So little recap, check the job board. We got a whole bunch of new jobs on there. If you are a sales and marketing person, that's a pretty new job, and they are reviewing applications right now and starting interviews soon. So if you have a sales and marketing background, go check it out. It's a great position. And there's room for growth, which I told you That's always my like favorite green flag. Imagine 360 has a bunch of new jobs on our job board from our event on Thursday. The replay will be going out hopefully this week. We're literally just waiting for it to finish uploading. And we have an event tomorrow with CVS Health. So that is September 23rd at 1 p.m. Eastern time. I always have to do the math in my house or in my head because I am Pacific time. So for me, it's 10 a.m. And everybody else, the rest of my team is pretty much on the East Coast. So 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. You can RSVP here. Today is your last day to RSVP. So if you have not RSVP'd, highly recommend doing that. And I'm excited to see you guys tomorrow morning. I will be one of our guest speakers. And then we have the CVS Health Clinical Coffee and Connect and cohort will be happening next month. We will also be announcing and sending out dates for that, I believe, next week. And then we have PCS portfolio with the military MLS on September 30th and travelers on October 14th. So that is what I've got for you guys today. If you have any questions, I'll be here for just a quick second. And I hope to see all of you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. on Zoom. You can come as you are. You can turn your camera on. You don't have to, but we love to see your faces. I will be there, camera on, talking to you guys, giving some more information about the CVS Health Customer Care Cohort, answering some questions. So I hope to see you guys there. I hope to see you in the chat. And I think that's everything. So if you guys have questions, the YouTube usually shuts down comments, but if you're watching from Facebook, you can keep commenting and I will answer those as I see them come through. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day and I hope to see you guys tomorrow morning. All right. Bye.